Emily, have you seen my new cocktail dress? Which one? The one I got last week for my date night. Did you take it? Why would I take it without even asking you, Hannah? Are you saying that I stole your dress? No, that's not what I mean. Maybe I have misplaced it or something. I thought perhaps you'd seen it. I'm sorry for the way I worded it. If I had, I would have told you right away. Is your date night today? Wasn't it supposed to be in the coming weekend? Change of plans. There's some issue with the venue we booked for our wedding, so we will have to attend that on Sunday. What? What's going on? I thought everything was going smoothly. They mistakenly booked the venue for another party, and now it's a complete mess. I got a call from them just a few hours ago, and they are trying to resolve the matter as soon as possible, but I am panicking here. That's why David suggested that we go out tonight, just to cool down a little and maybe even discuss the matter in case things go south. Your wedding is in 10 days, Hannah. Oh my God, what kind of jerks are they? How can they just make such a grave mistake and act so cool? There is no point in yelling at them, even when I want to. I'm just hoping the other party decides to back off for now. They should, as soon as possible. There is nothing more important than a wedding. Well, the man is going to celebrate his mother's 100th birthday, so it will be a big party and all. I tried to keep my wedding as low profile and budget-friendly as possible, but these problems, they're just not going away. Did you tell Mom? What is she doing? She told me she is out with her friends and will return tomorrow morning. Maybe they're visiting some new bar tonight. So, yeah. I see. Did you check if she took your dress? What? I just told you. She was at your place 2 days ago, right? She was here to get some of her clothes back. Maybe that's when it got mixed up. Or maybe she just took it. Emily, don't talk about your mother like that. Why would she steal something from me? Because she can. She even took my ear pods and favorite lipstick without even asking. Emily, she already apologized for that. And she even bought you new ones. Shut it, Hannah. You always saw my mom as an angel. But it's just that she is very good at deceiving people. She raised me, Emily, when my mom and dad passed away, with so much love and care. How can I ever hate her? Do you really think she gained nothing from that? She had ulterior motives. Why do you hate her so much? I still don't understand. I have my reasons. You just stayed at our place for 5 years, till I was 11. Then you left for college and made your own life while I got to see the sides of her which made me hate her even more. Or maybe it was those teenage hormones. I thought so too, and honestly, I still try to maintain a decent relationship with her. But sometimes I just can't. She loves you, Emily. Even since you left for college, she keeps telling me how lonely she feels at home. Because I'm not there to do her chores. She is growing old. Yeah, right. Old enough to visit bars and shake her leg on random dance floors. Listen, Hannah, I love you and I respect you for how far you've come. You really inspired me to become independent and hardworking. And I'm also okay with you having such a deep bond with my mom, even though I don't have a good relationship with her. I respect that. Thank you, Emily. If I wanted, I could fill your ears with all sorts of nasty things about my mother. I am a bitch, after all. But I think that's not my place to say anything to you. You make your own judgment. But I want you to be careful too. You're too kind and considerate for this world. Stop belittling yourself, Emily. You're a great person too. That's why we are so close, right? It's fine. I understand how complicated it must be between you and Aunt Becky. But you're still doing your best, not just for yourself, but for her too. Yeah. By the way, what will you wear now? Any other options left? There are a few. I'll wear one of them, but it's not like David is marrying me for the kind of branded dresses I'd wear on our date nights, LOL. If he had, I'd have beaten him to a pulp. I got your back, sis. LOL, thanks, Em. I'll go get ready now. See you soon. Yeah, don't worry. Your wedding will go smoothly. They're going to cancel it, my intuition is telling me. Fingers crossed. 4 days later. It's finally resolved. Damn, I was losing my mind. Those nut jobs almost made me go crazy there. They were stubborn, good lord. I never wanted to punch someone so bad in my life before. At least they got another option, and that too at a cheaper rate. And we'll get a few additional gifts from them too. Bravo! I'm glad our wedding didn't get canceled. I was scared as hell. Yeah, everything's good. Now to the main event. How is everything going? Everything's fine. I told you I just have a few more things to buy. How's your aunt? Has she been going out shopping with you? Yep, and Uncle will be walking me down the aisle. I'm so happy. They have always been so kind and supportive of me. Well, sure. Don't tell me you still haven't warmed up to them. Well, I like your uncle. He is a genuinely good man who looks after others. But my aunt is the problem, right? She isn't the problem exactly. I think she's just fake. Too pretentious. And why is that exactly? She likes to hog all the attention toward herself. See, I really appreciate it that she raised you and all, but Hannah, you know I'm not wrong completely. Even her daughter doesn't like her. There must be something. I don't know, maybe there is, but I don't feel like accepting it. I'm grateful to that woman for all she has done for me. I was entirely alone when Mom and Dad passed. I never thought my father's younger brother would take me in then. I lived with them for almost 6 years, but it was she who did so much for me. She gave me so much love and attention. Raising a teenager in an economy like that, I was an additional family member. And while back then I tried not to think of such things, I do realize now that I was more of a burden to them. I remember there was this time when I overheard my uncle and aunt talking about using the money that my parents had left for me in their will. I was an only child, and it was my aunt's idea to use it for themselves, as they were more deserving of it for raising me. Whoa, that's some actual dick move. Now I hate your aunt even more, Hannah. I am so sorry, but she is despicable. Did she use that money? Uncle never let her. It would have gotten them into a huge legal mess. I got it all once I turned 18 and used it for my studies. But ever since I heard that, I knew I owed them big time. My parents weren't there anymore, and I was the only one responsible for myself. I did everything to make her happy. I stayed with her and talked to her. I went out with her and even helped her with household chores. I was the perfect niece, the daughter she always desired for. Her friend circle was big, and I was introduced as the puppy who was saved by her. I never complained, though. That was the truth. I played along and acted all polite and obedient. Seeing her happy made me happy. It made me feel like I was doing something for her, that I was paying her back in some form. But once I left for college, it became more. She expected more from me, so I spent more on her. I would send her monthly gifts after receiving money for my part-time jobs. Dresses, makeup, small accessories, whatever I could afford then. I did it all. There was this constant pressure in my head back when I stayed there, that I was supposed to maintain the good girl image who always listened to Aunt Becky. I didn't want to mess things up for others. Uncle did his share as the family provider, and Emily was just a kid. As she grew up, she became more and more distant from her mother. She became the said brat who was not liked by my aunt's friend circle. Honestly, though, I'm happy she chose to stay away from those gatherings. She saved herself away from the unnecessary drama, while I stayed because it made me experience some twisted form of accomplishment. I thought after leaving the house, I'd be free from that mindset, but it never left. I went for therapy, but things only formed more confusing for me. I did not hate my aunt. She loved me more than I could have ever asked for, but I knew that the love she had for me was not the love that I wanted. I felt trapped in this never-ending debate that keeps running in my head. I want to go away from her, but I just can't. I know it's toxic, and you can give it all sorts of names, but just think about it from my perspective. She made me feel like I was something, that I could do something, that I could make people happy. I liked that, and so I kept doing that for her sake. You did it because you were scared, weren't you? And what made you come to that conclusion? You have always been a pacifist, Hannah. I have seen you. You are kind and considerate and always look after others. But you hate confrontations. Back then, you must have felt that fear. But you transformed it into this other emotion so you don't get in trouble. You didn't want to get kicked out, so you continued to play the role. I'm sorry if I said a little too much. Hannah, are you there? I am. And you're right. I know I should have talked to you about this person, but I just don't know how to. I have never told anyone about this and this entire ordeal. It's so complicated, even in my head. I want to stay away from Aunt Becky, but I can't leave her too. I'm seriously grateful for everything she has done for me, but there's this whole back and forth which only makes me lose my mind and I feel like giving up. That I just don't want to think anymore. I'm sorry I'm still talking about this. I don't want to trauma dump you to the point you run away from me, David. I'd never run away from you, honey. I can never. You can always talk to me. Now that you've shared your side of the story, do you feel a little relieved? I do, but I still need to let go of a few more things. You will. I will help you. Thanks, David, for everything, for always being there for me. I don't know what I would have done if I had never met you. Then I'd have found you. Sappy, very sappy. You like this shit, lady. Don't act all cool now. Yes. You should get some sleep. We had a long day today. You should too. I can't wait to be your husband. The feeling is mutual. I love you. I love you too. Night. Good night. My relationship with Aunt Becky was not something I could ever explain to anyone. To people around us, she is my savior. And honestly, she was. I owe her big time for that. She gave a home to a lost puppy and raised her when she was all alone. With all my heart, I have always been grateful to her for that. But I also know the kind of love she gave me was not what I wanted. Back in my teenage years, when all of this started, I tried to tell myself that it was normal and that I was happy. I was able to bring joy to people, to her, and in my mind, I felt a twisted sense of accomplishment. I drained myself emotionally for being available for her all the time, thinking I was repaying her. But it was just another unhealthy coping mechanism for me to continue with life. I never told anyone anything about it. While the people around me thought I was satisfied, I did not want to trouble anyone. Uncle was busy financially supporting the house, while Emily was just a kid. I called myself strong, but that facade only kept cracking. As I left for college, I thought I'd get rid of these habits. But one way or another, she kept saying things that would send me on a guilt trip, and I ended up repeating the same things. Never in these 12 years have I been physically abused by my Aunt Becky. She treated me well, but emotionally, I became her pillar to the point it started to break. And since then, I've been trying to save my pathetic self, but I keep feeling as if I'm stuck in a prison, which she made for me. As a kid, I'd thought I'd persevere, but as an adult, I realized the grave mistake I've made. My confused mind still does not accept the bad that happened to me. But if I keep going like this, it will only harm me more. The day before the wedding. Sweetie, have you talked to Emily? Yeah, she must be at her college now. That girl needs to learn some respect. I have tried calling her, but she keeps ignoring them. Why does she not learn anything from you? It's all right, Aunt. She is busy right now with her studies. But so are you, and you're getting married tomorrow. But here you are, still giving me the time I need. I have a few things to pack, then I'll leave for the salon. Oh, where exactly? I should come with you. I was thinking of getting a massage, too. My back is so stiff. Sure, I'll send you the address. I'll call up Nina and JC, too. You'll enjoy their company, yeah? Okay. Great. If only Emily could do this, too. I sent her a gorgeous dress for your wedding reception, but I don't know if she's going to wear it. Don't worry, Aunt, she will. Let's see, she is such an ungrateful child. I can't believe she is my daughter. It's fine, she is a good girl. Whatever, I'll get ready now and tell my friends too. Do you want me to carry some cash? Oh, don't worry. I'll cover it. As expected from you. Thank you, sweetie. See you soon. See you. The wedding went just fine, and as one of my bridesmaids, Emily looked gorgeous in that dress. But throughout the party, I saw people frowning at her, especially Aunt Becky's friends, who kept murmuring things about how she was and whatnot. She ignored it, and so did I, and the first half went as smoothly as possible. But during the reception, when my aunt stood up to give a speech for us, she ended up talking ridiculously about Emily while comparing her with me. She kept saying I was great, and Emily had always ignored her. The speech was supposed to be for David and me, but suddenly the entire thing was about her tragic life and whatnot. Feeling humiliated, Emily left the hall, and instead of making things better, Aunt Becky and her friends started murmuring again after the speech ended. An awkward silence fell in the room, and that only infuriated me further. This had gotten way too far, insulting Emily in front of all these people, and I could not tolerate that. Without any hesitation, I stood up and loudly announced, "If only you had loved Emily as your daughter rather than using her, like me, for paying spa bills for you and your friends, she would have loved you back. But it's a good thing she left your pathetic side before it got too late." I went to look for Emily, and David, after applauding with a proud smirk, ran after me. I did not care what anyone thought anymore, and I was no longer sticking with that woman. After consoling Emily when we came back in, I saw Becky and her friends leave with shameful looks on their faces. It was marvelous. At that moment, I felt like I had broken the chain. Whatever may happen later, I will no longer please my aunt to save my stupid reputation. She crossed a line today, and I swear I will never forgive her for that.